out the Judge Roy Bean Museum. See what that looks like. I'll get back with you. Well, even without the bright sunshiny day, this is still some really beautiful country. Love the limestone rock formations and all the colors. A lot of ups and downs. Pretty cool. I wonder what the population is. I'm guessing not very much. Most of these buildings that I'm seeing so far really do appear to be abandoned. Out to the left, there's a beautiful canyon there. Langtry Church has services the first and third Wednesdays.
Turn right on Torres Avenue.
Oh, good. It's open. I was afraid it wouldn't be. So here we are at the Judge Roy Bean Museum, and we have the saloon that Judge Roy Bean had here. Interestingly, I didn't know really anything about this history. He named it the Jersey Lilly. He apparently had a crush on Lilly Langtry, and that's how the name became, the town became named Langtry. But Lilly Langtry never visited until after Judge Roy Bean died. He died in 1903. She visited 10 months later in 1904. So this is the saloon. Replica, I assume. But pretty cool. 1882 to 1903. Law west of the Pecos. Courtroom named for Judge Roy Bean's idol, actress Lilly Langtry. This is an historic site, preserved for posterity by the State Department of Highways and Public Transportation. Interesting. All right, let's check it out. I think the no smoking sign is probably a recent addition. Huh. I wonder what these are. Oh, billiard table legs. Cool. They're very cool, actually. Looks like cast metal. Maybe this isn't a replica. Played for fun and profit. Judge died in this room on March 16th, 1903. He was buried in Del Rio, which is actually fairly far away from here, in my opinion. So we had some prize fighting. Oh, there was this thing about the drinking bear. People would buy beers for him. Pictures of Lilly. All right, let's check out the saloon room. The original Jersey Lilly Saloon. On this exact site and in this very building, Judge Roy Bean dispensed hard liquor and harsh justice, all a part of his law west of the Pecos. No shooting, cutting, fighting, or loud cussing allowed, and absolutely no spitting on the floor. Okay, so I was wrong. It's not a replica, and it is exactly where it was. So, pretty cool. One table left here. Pot-bellied stove. What's out back? So we've got this courtyard here with some native plants identified. Let's see if there's anything else back here before we walk over to the Opera House. Oh. Uneven surface. Yes, it is. Kind of have to look where I'm going. Oh, yeah, it does look like we got some other stuff here. All right, this is pretty cool. This is the Sotol plant. I was reading about this at the Seminole Canyon Museum yesterday. The leaves were used for weaving mats, and the heart of the plant was baked and eaten, and alcohol was produced from it. I had no idea what the plant actually looked like, though, because it was hard to tell from the display at Seminole Canyon. Sorry if it's a little bit jerky. I forgot to bring the selfie stick with me to stabilize. Eclipse Windmill. This rare 10-foot Model P Eclipse windmill was sold about 1900 by Fairbanks, Morse and Company. It is one of many that played an important part in the development of West Texas. Windmills provided the power to bring vital, pure, thirst-quenching water to the surface. The reliable, long-lasting Eclipse enabled the Texas pioneers to conquer and possess this land. This wooden tower, bought as a kit, was shipped out on the railroad and erected at the well site. Oh, okay, so windmill up at the top, and then the shaft that comes down and pumps into a well where it says don't drink the water. So I'm pretty sure it's not actively pumping anymore, but pretty cool. Got a little bench shelter thing here. Doesn't look terribly comfortable to me. And we'll continue our walk through their garden area. I think we wind up crossing back over a bridge. We'll see in a minute. So based on everything I've seen so far, I would say if you're anywhere within a reasonable vicinity, you should definitely include a stop here in Langtry. According to the gentleman in the visitor center here, by the way, they've got a great visitor center with lots of information about the area, and it's not too far from Big Bend, which is where I'm heading next. Anyway, the gentleman at the visitor center said there are only 10 residents in town anymore, and he and his other co-worker are not counted among them. They've identified pretty much all of the plants, and also placards for reptiles and insects and birds. So it's really quite informative. I'd recommend it as a stop. There's my rig over there. And this is part of the Chihuahuan Desert. All right, we're gonna walk across and check out the Opry House. There's a driveway we could walk up, but I'm going to go with the steps. Quite a variety of butterflies here as well. Really quite a nice job with all the gardens. Oh, lots of butterflies. Wow. I'm sure I can't catch them for you. Oh, there goes one. 2, 3. There's a lot of butterflies here. And I think they set this up to be a butterfly attractive garden. Roy Bean's Opera House, Town Hall, and Seat of Justice. So this is Judge Roy Bean's home, which was built after the original Jersey Lilly Saloon burned down, and it was known as the Opera House. Bean often boasted that the English actress Lily Langtry would visit Langrry one day, and the adobe one-room residence was to be an opera house where Langrry would perform. She eventually visited the town, but only after his death 10 months previously. Life in the Pecos prior to 1900 proved challenging. Much of the rest of the state had been settled, while the rough country of West Texas remained isolated. Country between the lower stretches of the Pecos and the Rio Grande was mostly wide open to those who wanted to use it and build homes. Settlers did not have an easy task. The days of summer were often unbearably hot and water was scarce. Wow. Most of the waterworks were operated by tying the rope to the saddle of a horse and using horsepower to raise buckets of water. Interesting. All right, let's see what home looks like. Pretty small. Wow. Potbelly stove. I guess it's not a potbelly, I think that's a Franklin. Bed, table, I don't see anything kitchen-like. Interesting. I like the porches that kind of wrap all the way around, almost all the way around. All right, well, there you have it. The Judge Roy Bean Museum. Pretty cool. Check it out. Well, this is looking a lot like another ghost town kind of thing. This is Sanderson. And most of the buildings appear to be abandoned. An RV park here with a surprising number of people in it that don't look like permanent residents. And the little town of Sanderson is nestled in the Sanderson Canyon, which is really quite large. It did make me wonder, though, this one looks more like a canyon, but a lot of the identified as canyons seem more like what I think of as an arroyo. So now I'm going to have to look that up and see if that's correct. Okay, the sign says Big Bend National Park information, but doesn't say where. This is kind of a cute little store with metal sculpture things for sale. They do have a little real estate office. Oh, they got a food truck. And the Sanderson Bank, which appears to still be in business. Alright, the buildings are kind of cute. Even though they aren't, most of them aren't occupied. Some are. I think we're going to check out the stripes up here and get some fuel before we continue on out of Sanderson. Oh, you didn't get to see that one, but that's a really good looking house, all brick and everything. Huh. Alright, let's see, what do we got? 79, I think I'm gonna go ahead and fuel up here. Well, the landscape is changing a bit again. Ooh, and way over to the right there's a little bit of sun up on the hillside. As we're approaching these kind of higher hills, with looks like a fair amount of sagebrush and so forth on them. Still, I think if the sun was shining, I think there'd be lots of different colors exposed between the different kinds of rock and dirt and all of the vegetation. Really quite pretty. There's a lot of varied landscape here in Texas. And at this point, I'm about 130 miles from Big Bend National Park, I think. So it won't be too long before we get there. I'm going to settle in there for a couple of days and see what there is to be seen. Well, we have officially entered Big Bend National Park, but we're still 27 miles from the first visitor center. Looks like we're coming up into real mountains now, instead of just the foothills, though. So that's nice. Definitely pretty. It'll take a while to get there because the speed limit is 45 miles per hour. Check out all the mountains just unfolding as far as I can see. Kind of reminds me of California that way. With layer after layer of mountains peeling back. So, although the visitor center is pretty far away, looks like they want to collect their fee right up front. I'm just pulling through here. This is an information kiosk right by the entrance, but the visitor center here is closed, so the ranger said it's about 40 minutes to get there at whatever the 25-mile-an-hour speed limit is. So there we go. Well, I've been looking forward to this, but I have no idea what to expect. I'm going to have to check out the visitor center, find out what I should be seeing and doing. Yeah. I was thinking this might be the most southern national park, but I'm betting there's something further south in Florida than this. I'll have to check that out.
Possible. Make a U-turn.
I came down here to take a look at the fossil discovery exhibit, and it says no RVs, but I didn't see that. However, there's a giant bus here, so I think I'm okay. Probably not the worst thing. Alright, let's find a place to park. Actually, it looks like a pretty cool site, so we'll see what we can see here. So this sculpture shows the actual size of the giant crocodiles that lived here 75 million years ago, called Deinosuchus. They lived when the land was a swamp, not a desert. They were the top predators of their time, ambushing and eating dinosaurs both large and small. Here at Big Bend, they find the Deinosuchus tooth marks and fossilized bones of dinosaurs and turtle shells. They've also found skulls, teeth, and other bones. We have some other pretty cool displays here, as well as dino facts. So that's pretty cool. Yep. Alright, we're gonna go up top and check it out. I'm heading down for Rio Grande Village, and I'm wondering if those tallest mountains I can see underneath the clouds over there might be on the other side of the Rio Grande. Guess we'll be finding out. Definitely pretty. I imagine the springtime wildflower bloom is probably pretty spectacular. And tomorrow is supposed to be in the mid-60s. So, yeah, not sure what I'm going to do yet. Maybe do some hiking while it's cooler. That'll be more comfortable. It's currently 89 degrees. I think when I get camp set up, I might have to run the generator and the AC for a little while, cool the place down. And this will be my first 2-night stint in a row of dry camping. Trying to figure out at this point how long I can stay out for. I only have an 80-watt suitcase solar panel and lead acid batteries, so I'm thinking I probably can't stay out too long, but we'll see. I'll need to get the map out and figure out what those mountains are. much all of the turnoffs to go see things are onto dirt and gravel roads. So I'm not too sure how I feel about driving my house down those roads. I think I'm going to take a look at the maps and see how long it is, and then decide. But in the meantime, check out this view. This is spectacular. Doesn't look all that big. I think I'm going to take my half out of the middle. Oh, it's bigger than it looks. Yay. Here we go. Looking for the campground, looking for site 98. The GPS now just says driving on road. I'm thinking good to know. Okay, let's see what the campground looks like, what site 98 looks like. And I got a couple of friends that I met in Fredericksburg last week that are coming in tomorrow, and they're going to stay for a few days. So we're going to get the chance to hang out together again. That'll be fun. I've already registered. Alright, that's 40 to 66 off to the left. Well, this looks very nice, actually. And the price is certainly right. Inside a national park. And I'm paying $16 for 2 nights. Alright, this says 67 to 100. They don't look super level, but I think it'll be okay. Guess I'm going to be down near the end of this loop. I wonder if there's bears here. I see what look like bear boxes. From the dumpster. 90. Maybe next to the dumpster. Uh-oh. This says no generator zone. looks like there are bears.